Well, greetings, everyone. My name is Tammy Gates, and this is session 4 or class 4 of our 5-class social media course for Asea Associates. We've been having a lot of fun, and I've been so excited watching everyone's posts and just upping everyone's engagement and social interaction. And I'm convinced that as we move more into this area of social media, and as we really become professionals and experts on posting on social media for business, that we will be moving the needle for us in our businesses. And so especially for people who feel like they've ran out of people to talk to. And social media is an excellent way to make friends and convert those friends into prospects and ultimately customers and associates. So tonight I want to start with one of Sue Brenchley's former teachings and trainings, and she talked about folks that are in the looking zone, and that those are actually prospects. And then after they're prospects, if they're in the looking zone, then they actually become suspects. And it's our job to turn them into associates and customers. And so what tonight's training really is all about is taking this group of people who are following you and putting them into the looking zone, so they become curious about you and what you're doing and what you're an expert at and what your passions are, because you're posting things that look fun or attractive to them. So that's really what we mean when we talk about converting your network to prospects. So I hope that you have taken note of your friend count when we started this. And if you have been engaged in posting and rebranding yourself and upgrading your profile picture and your cover photo, I'm hoping that you're also beginning to see your friend count grow. And so I would love to open up the lines and have a couple of people who have been surprised by some reactions as they have been posting, surprised or happy or delighted or something like that. I'd love to hear a success story of someone who's been following along with us over the last several classes. And all you have to do is unmute yourself.
Tammy, this is David.
Hey, David. Good to meet you.
I was delighted to learn some technique that you evolved into yesterday, where something I hadn't practiced before, and it's already increased my numbers of people engaging and brought me new people. And that is when somebody likes a post, I didn't really always engage with them. So when somebody would like my post based on your conversation yesterday, I went to their site and said to them, thanks for liking my post, and then I engaged with them. And it created some amazing conversations already, so thank you.
Perfect. I love that. You know, David, when people, and this takes time, right?
Sure.
And so when people say, oh, I don't want to spend my whole morning on Facebook. Well, if you want to build your business, you might think about spending some part of your morning on Facebook, right?
Amen.
Thank you, guys. That's awesome.
Thank you, Tammy.
Thanks.
Yeah. Anybody else? Just unmute yourself and let's hear what's happening for you. Okay, we'll move on. And at the end of the session, we will take some Q&A too. So be ready with your pen and pencil and paper because we will do Q&A. So tonight is all about how to talk to these people that you're attracting. What do you say and how do you go about it? At the end of tonight's class, like I promised, you are going to hear from Marion Struble, Diamond Executive in Asea, who has been using social media and applying these techniques over the winter and fall. So she's going to give us her testimony, her success stories, and some of her best tips and strategies as well. So when you think of talking to these people who are following you, you have 3 roles. And at any one time, you might be taking off one hat and putting on another hat and changing roles. And so we talked a lot last night and last Thursday about brand. And we talked a lot last night about being a brand ambassador. So by that, I mean choosing one of your passions or interests or activities and just really being an ambassador and curating information from all kinds of places to post on your page. And that the strategy for that was indeed to grow your friends and followers. But now I want to expand your world and let you know that the more you do that, the more you will be able to employ one of the 2 strategies that we're going to talk about in a few minutes. So just because you've got your brand built or you have your brand solidified in your mind, don't forget or neglect to continue to post and curate information from everywhere on the internet and other platforms around your brand, because people are just starting to watch you and they're just starting to notice you, and they may or may not have reached out to friend you up yet. But for example, let's say that one of your interests or activities or passions is paleo eating. And so you've started to post recipes, or you've started to post pictures of food, or you've started to post comments or articles about why it's healthy. If someone searches paleo on Facebook's page up in the search bar, they may find you, and they may have clicked on you, and they may have read what you posted, but they may not have friended you yet because you haven't quite met the criteria in their mind for being the expert or the brand ambassador or even the friend level. So it's a really good idea to keep hammering on this being an expert and being a brand ambassador, because it will pay off and people are watching even though you may not know they're watching. But the other 2 roles are the ones we're going to talk about tonight that will convert those people who are watching you into prospects. And, you know, a prospect, remember, they're just in the looking zone. They're hungry about something, but they don't know that you have something to satisfy them yet. And so a prospect doesn't necessarily even know that Asea is out there or that you're an Asea associate. And so 2 of the other roles you're going to play is 1, you're going to be part entrepreneur, and 2, you're going to be part consultant. And as you're an entrepreneur, you're going to be talking about and showing your lifestyle as an entrepreneur, your expert advice as an entrepreneur, and as well as a consultant. And the consultant can play both roles. It can play an entrepreneur consultant and it can play a product consultant. So the first time ever tonight, we're going to talk about how to talk about Asea on your social media and how to talk about our products. Because up until now, we've said, just make sure it's maybe 1 in 10 posts that you are talking about your product and your business. So tonight we're going to tell you exactly how to approach talking about your product and your business. And actually, most of this is going to be taking it offline after you find someone who's in the looking zone. And by offline, I mean probably Facebook's Messenger feature, unless you can find email or cell phone information in their about section, as you are just doing what David said, just replying to people who liked your posts or shared or commented on your posts and reaching back out to them. So let's go. So it's all about bringing value to your network and resourcing your friends and your network and serving them. And you really have a gift to be able to offer the Asea products and the Asea business to your network. It's a gift. So you will be bringing value to them. And we're going to have you educate them from your heart. And so by that, I mean, be who you are. Be real. And you don't have to be salesy. You don't have to be phony. Just be who you are and use language that you would use in an everyday conversation. One of the funny things is that we sit across a table and have coffee with a friend, and then we go online on social media and we instantly change how we talk to people. And it's not us. It doesn't sound right. So just make sure that as you are offering your gift and educating people about our products and about our business, that you're coming from your heart and you're being real to who you are. So I promised you we're going to give you 2 strategies. So the first strategy is people are reaching out to you because of what they see you posting. When David Keyes said that people liked his post, that was someone reaching out to him because of what they saw him posting. So when people reach out to you, it could be through a comment that they make on your post. It could be because of a like. They might share your post. They might even go so far as to private message you or friend you up. So if someone, reaches out and asks to be your friend, all of those things mean what you're doing is working and people are reaching out to you because of what they see you posting. So when they do that, and you have that happening lively on your page, it's time to begin to talk about the benefits of our product and business. And we're going to actually compile a short list of some products and benefits in order for you to begin to get an idea of what to talk about now on your page or your wall about your business. And you want to make sure that you're doing this without making any medical claims. And actually, really, if you're going to post a before and after picture, try and make sure it isn't of some dramatic wound healing, even on animals, because it's kind of pushing the boundaries of what we like to see claim safe. And so just make sure that as you talk about the benefits, you're not talking about any medical claims. And really, you're holding a lot back. Okay, this is not the time to just regurgitate everything you know about redox signaling molecules. You don't really want to come out and tell your followers that you have a solution to diabetes, or you have a solution to stiffness or soreness or something like that. You want to be careful not to make promises like this, and you really want to keep it curious on the public platform. So if people reach out to you like they were to David Key, you can take it offline to Facebook private messenger and shift to a consultant mode. So if somebody asks you, for example, let's say you've been engaged in talking about the benefits of Renew 28. You're not talking that it's called Renew 28. You're talking maybe that it's cutting edge topical gel that communicates with cells on your skin. And someone reaches out to you and posts a question on your wall and says, will it help psoriasis? Now's the time to like their post and then private message them and switch to consultant mode. So you would go to your messenger feature and say, you know, loved your question, tell me more, or something like that. So you're going to shift to consultant mode so that on your public platform, everyone doesn't see your conversation with the person who is interested in psoriasis, if that makes sense. So let's just talk about the benefits of Asea.
Hey, Tammy,
Yeah, go ahead, David.
I just wanted to say something. A lot of times, people aren't used to checking their Facebook Messenger. So if you go and take it into a private mode on Facebook Messenger after you like their comment, be sure to comment that you sent them a private message.
Oh, good. Thank you. That's really important because not only that, but all of the other eyeballs that are watching the conversation are thinking, oh, wow, there is something really, really interesting about this.
Yeah, then they get left out. Kind of like, oh, I want to know what's going on there.
Good idea. So I've switched my screen share to my PowerPoint presentation. And I'd love to have you unmute one at a time and let's fire out some benefits of drinking Asea without making a medical claim. I'll put one in here to get us started.
Greater endurance when I'm running and biking.
Greater endurance during workouts, or no, we'll put that. Okay, what else?
More energy.
Okay, what else?
Mental alertness.
Oh, I'm sorry, say that again.
Mental alertness.
Okay.
Quickened recovery during physical therapy.
Oh, Fran, say that again.
Quickened recovery during physical therapy.
Okay, one more.
Sleep.
You know.
Better sleep.
Okay, good. Cool. So you could create some posts about the benefits of your product using some of these types of things, right? So you're not talking about Asea. You're not really even using the name Asea. You are talking about your life-changing product or your cutting-edge product or your patented products. And then you're talking about some of the benefits. And you guys can take these and expand them, explode them, build on them. What about Renew 28? What are benefits of Renew 28? I'll start out with reduced stiffness and soreness. What else?
Softer skin.
Moisturizes your skin.
What else?
Great on sunburns.
Reduces spotting on skins.
Tammy, would it be better to not say reduces skin spots, but to say clarity of skin or something?
Cindy Lou, I think skin spots is
Okay.
not a medical term. I think we're okay with that.
Tammy, what they used at corporate is reduces photo damage.
They did. That's right from corporate. You're right. Like 94%.
Reduces inflammation.
Reduces itching.
These are all great.
Reduces cellulite, the effect of cellulite.
These are
Increases skin radiance.
yeah. Thank you. Yes, yes. So you guys, you can take. You can take the benefits of Asea and the benefits of Renew 28 and start talking about them online. But don't forget, you want to keep your audience and your eyeballs curious, because you want them to reach out to you, and you want them to, the golden goose egg would be if somebody asks you a question, how are you doing that? And then you take it offline and become their consultant, right? So let's do the same thing with the benefits of the Asea business, so that when you want to be part entrepreneur and you want to talk about the business on your page, what are benefits of your Asea business?
Residual income.
Okay.
Flexibility.
Like in your time?
Time frame.
Okay, what else?
Do your business on the beach. Or on a stand-up paddleboard.
Yeah, good.
No, I'm serious.
No, yeah, that's great, Sep. Our very best friends were just here, and they're very successful realtors. And they took their kayaks out for a float yesterday and posted a picture on their Facebook page of them closing a $750,000 deal from their phones on their kayaks on the river. What else?
How about paid weekly? What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's a cash kiss. What else?
Tax breaks.
What?
Tax breaks.
Oh, good poke.
Actually, yeah, with the tax breaks, you can put in global travel as a tax break.
Yeah.
Which is what we do.
Great retirement plan.
You can will it to your children and grandchildren.
Great. Good deal. So you guys can come up with all kinds of benefits of the Asea business. And, you know, just on your social media posts, let your imagination go wild about what kinds of pictures, what kinds of testimony, what kinds of posts you could make. And again, you know, you're not talking about being an Asea associate, but you're building curiosity. So there's kind of this mystery around what you're going to continue to do.
So in building curiosity, how about a term like unprecedented plan B? Unprecedented plan B. What does that mean? I don't know. What do you mean by unprecedented? Maybe I'll call you back.
Very good. Cool. So what you want to do next is to get creative and begin to create some posts that align with some of those benefits. And actually, it would be good to just kind of take some quiet time, maybe first thing in the morning or something like that, and get out a blank sheet of paper and actually write out some ideas and some posts that align with the benefits. And remember, don't make it product specific, because we're asking them to step forward to us. So this is a big secret. Don't tell them. You're not hiding what you're doing, but you're just not posting a bunch of specifics, because your specifics come later when you take it offline and begin to connect with them privately. Same with the business. You know, you talk about the benefits, but you don't have to talk about the whole story. It's kind of like laying breadcrumbs. And it allows people to step in their imagination and say, how in the world are they doing that? I want that. How in the world are those two realtors closing a $750,000 deal while they're kayaking on the river? I want that. And so that's what you're trying to do, is to create a lifestyle. You know, maybe around tax time, it is great to, you know, start talking about the benefits. There's still a lot of people with extensions out there. Their taxes aren't due till August 15th. And so there's still a lot of great time to lay out some breadcrumbs with taxes, where, like the caller earlier said, you know, like Sep said, global travel and tax benefits for doing it. So the first strategy is when people reach out to you. Your second strategy is when you reach out to people. And so, and Marion's going to talk to us in just a second a lot about this, just about building rapport with people and asking them really great questions, so that it's just like if you're making a new friend and you've had coffee for the first time. It's no different. You know, you could reach out to people because you're looking to expand in their city, in their state, or in their country. You know, you could begin to follow some of these people around your brand. Let's go back to paleo again. Let's say you find a group of paleo cooks and you've joined the group like we instructed last night, and now you're reaching out and making friends with people in that group. It would be okay to private message them after they already have had exposure to who you are, and say, you know, I'm looking to expand my business into Australia, and I noticed you're from Australia. Tell me more.
So on that same area, is what you want to do is you want to go look at their site before you get on the phone with them or you reach back to them. What is their life like? Are they showing pictures of that they're married? Do they have children? Do they have grandchildren? Are they into dogs? It's just like doing a three-way phone call. Before you get on that call, if you're going to be the expert on the three-way phone call, you want to know who you're talking to, what are the hot buttons that may interest them. And so if you know that they're into sports, if you know they're into athletics, you've went on there and looked on their site. You know what you're going to talk about, bringing up some things that I see you're into this. I see you have children. I see you have children that are in sports. I see you support your grandchildren, and you've got one that's scholarship awarded college athlete. Whatever it may be, those are things that are hot buttons for these people. They were hot enough for them to put them on their Facebook site. And so you know those are trigger points that you can actually plug into in building relationship and conversation with to expand on.
Good points, Chuck. Really good. This is also a great time as you're reaching out to other people, is to use 28 samples and really develop a sampling program, and, you know, offer to send them a sample in return for their feedback, and then have them watch the 3 times in 5 minutes video too. 3 times in 5 minutes. and ask them to give your opinion about something. You know, I've asked people to give me, usually on Sunday nights, I like to come in and talk about Monday mornings, and give me your opinion about what you're facing, ending your weekend and going to work Monday morning. And, you know, you can find all kinds of fun graphics on the internet to paste up there in addition to your post, but asking for opinions is a great way too. And as well as collaborate. For example, right now, you're in a social media class, you're learning how to post about your business. If you can find someone online, you can ask them for their feedback. And if you find a network marketer that you can establish a relationship with and ask them, hey, I would love to collaborate with you on this project I'm working on. I'm trying to build my business on social media. I'm trying to talk about tax benefits for travel. Do you have any feedback? And people love to be looked up to and give their feedback on things like that. So these are just ways you can reach out to other people, even people you don't know. So at this point, I would love to invite Marion Struble to unmute her line and just to talk to us for a bit about what she's been doing and what she's learned. Marion, what your successes are, what your hiccups have been, and we're just looking forward to hearing from you.
Hey, well, thanks, Tammy. Can you hear me okay?
Really good. Thanks, Marion.
All right. Hey, so listen, my brand is all about connection. That's what I love to do. And I really went through a period where I was stuck. I didn't know where in Bozeman to find connection with the kind of people I wanted to include in my life as well as my business. And one thing I'm good at is making friends. And you've heard this statement before, and it goes along with what Tammy said, is people join you, they don't join your business. And that's why on Facebook or whatever social media you're using, you represent well. And so I decided that, listen, I don't have to think I'm friendless and that I've burnt through my list so much that I don't have anybody else to talk to. And I have all these people on Facebook. I didn't even look at my number, but I think it's well over 1,000 that are always liking my posts. And so I thought, why don't I just have virtual coffees? So one of the things that I have done is begin to invite people to just have a virtual coffee with me. So how I do that is I reach out through Messenger when I find somebody I want to connect with, and I just get them on Zoom if they will, and just have coffee. And I'll tell you about what I say in a minute when I do that. But I'm convinced that especially with Facebook, I am convinced that if every associate would learn to prospect and talk to people through Facebook offline, you will learn how to do this business. And so I'm going to give you some examples, but before I do that, I wanted to tell you a few places where I found people to engage with. So Tammy talked a little bit about groups yesterday. So I found some groups that I'm a real faith-based person, and so I found some faith groups, people that like to talk about those kind of things. And there are also some entrepreneur faith-based groups, and I found some of those. And one of the ways I got somebody through that particular modality is they had a time when they said Marketplace Monday, and you could post something that was going on in your business you wanted to let people know about. And so that's a place where I reached out in this particular thing and offered them a free sample if they would watch one of our new videos. And one of the people messaged me and said, I watched the video, I'd really like a free sample. And I sent her that sample, and we exchanged information, and she ended up enrolling as an associate and is ready to get started in this business. So that's one way. But I also think it's important, David was talking about those likes. I not only watch my likes from the people that I'm friends with, but sometimes you're posting on somebody else's wall or commenting, and somebody will like your post. And when I see somebody liking my post, I go in to see who it was and then go to their profile and look at them. So let me give you an example of something that happened recently with somebody that I've got in the pipeline right now. Is I have a friend that is going through a tough time, similar to our story. And so I've reached out to her and encouraged her in the whole process. And I was watching one of her posts and she said something, and I'd responded, and this person had liked my post. But right after that, this person posted. And my friend responded to the person, "You're a wise friend, Gail." And I responded to Gail, "Gail, I can always use another wise friend. I'm going to send you a friend request." And she responded, and then I immediately took it offline and said, "So glad to know you. Would love to hear how you know my friend, our friend, mutual friend. And I just love to connect. Are you up for coffee virtually?" And she said, "How do we do that? I'd love it." And so I told her about Zoom, and we got on it. And honestly, she was so hungry for connection because she had just moved to her area that she ended up crying in the middle of that because I was able to reach out to her and make a friend, and it was so good for her to have an adult conversation. But here's the magic question. When I get them on Zoom, and the reason I do that is you want to build a trust factor with people you don't know, and your body language and the way that you communicate through a video is a lot different than if you're just sending an email or a text or a message. And tone can be misinterpreted, or motive can be misinterpreted. So I like to get them face to face. And here's my standard question. Let's assume that I'm meeting Barta for the first time. I'd say, "Hey, Barta, it's great to meet you. Tell me your story." And I shut up and I let him talk. And every single time I have done that, one of two things happens. As soon as I'm done listening to them, and once in a while I'll maybe ask a question or throw in a comment that lets them know I get whatever they're saying, invariably they'll ask me my story. And I tell them my story without making it totally about the business. I tell them, well, we moved to Bozeman 15 years ago when my husband unexpectedly 2 years before retirement lost his job. And we didn't know it was the most expensive place to live. And I just say, that's a long story. I won't get into that. But now we're retired, and something else came along, and I find a connection there. A lot of times I'm able to do it because of faith, and we've got a mutual connection. But I tell them just a little bit, but do not invite them at that point to take a look. I pique their curiosity. A couple things have happened. Somebody in the time of telling their story told me about some challenges. And then if it's appropriate, I'll ask them there. But if it's not, and I just have a gut instinct that we have to connect again, I just put them on my prospect list and set up another time to chat with them. If it's not appropriate, then, and I had another person where I just was evasive. I didn't go back into the business prospecting part of it or product prospecting. And she said to me, listen, I know you're going to tell me what this is because I'm going to ask you. And when she said that, I told her what it was. And I said, I'd love to send you some information. And she says, you know, I get prospected by people all the time, but I'm going to look at this and then let's get back together. And so just recently this week, normally I set a follow-up and we did, but it fell through. And so this week she says, I really want to get back and talk with you. You usually find out something about them that's going to give you a reason. I had another interesting experience. I reached out to somebody, you know, you get those suggested, or you might know this person on your Facebook page. Well, I was looking through the pictures and somebody attracted me. And I just liked her face. And I'm looking for professional, confident, especially women. And I liked her face, went to her profile, found out she lived in Helena and that she used to work for the same place my son works now. So I had a common connection. I sent her a friend request and a message. We had a mutual friend, and I offered again to have coffee. And we were going to set it up. She was all ready, and we were all ready to go. And all of a sudden, I get a message from her, and I did not have Asea. I'd already taken that down off my Facebook page. And she said to me, I have to be honest with you. If you are just connecting with me because you want to tell me about a business or a product, I'm really not interested. Now, most people would shy away from that, but what that gives us a clue is people do not want to just be approached to connect for that purpose. That's selling them something they may or may not want, right? But they love to tell their stories. And so I didn't shy away from that. I sent a message back and said, oh, Linda, I said, hey, I am in marketing. I'm going to be honest. I do have a home-based business, but that is not why I reached out to you. I saw your face in one of those, you might know these people, and something about you attracted me. And I just, when I looked at your profile and saw we had a few things that we might connect on, I wanted to get to know you better. So I understand if you don't want to have coffee, but I really want to assure you I am not going to try and sell you anything. Well, at the end of our conversation, which we did have, was 2 hours long.
So Marian, when you send those friend requests, do you tell them why you're asking to friend them up?
Yep, I say this. I'm all about getting to know my Facebook friends for real. And I'd love to connect and have coffee. And my purpose in having virtual coffee or connecting, generally, unless there's some other reason, generally it really is to just get to know them and see if they are somebody that I might want to connect with the business, but I really am doing it because I want to make a million friends. There are networkers that have been very successful that say, if you want to be successful in this business, go make a million friends. And so that's what I tell them. It's for friendship. I don't reach out generally with the product at first. It may be that they do have something that they've said that I want to know more about, like you were talking, Tammy. But generally, the ones I'm doing right now are just connecting as friends. And I've got several in the pipeline. This week, just yesterday, I did one with somebody that I'd met in that group. No intention of actually talking to her about Asea unless it came up. And by the end of the conversation, she not only was looking, but we found a reason why she might want to look, which included both the business and her pet. And today we did a 3-way phone call, and she's now looking at the enrollment packages. So I think it's about being friends and just engaging with, you have to spend time getting to know the people that you are friends with, and really engaging in conversations before you approach them. I mean, like you said, Tammy, like their comments, comment on their posts. And that's especially true in a group, but it's true one-on-one too. It expands your profile when you're liking somebody else's post and you're engaging in conversation. There's one more thing that I think is super important, and that's because a lot of us are Asea people, and this is a lesson I learned early on in Facebook. A lot of us are friends with one another, and it can get complicated. And so I would encourage you to not respond to your Asea friends' posts, especially mentioning Asea. That can, I had a situation, I don't know if she's on this call, but I had missed that she was in Asea. And she posted a great question. And I was answering it and hadn't taken it offline. And afterwards, I realized that I'd stepped on her prospecting line because she reached out to me and said, please don't do that. So it's very important. Don't use the words Asea when you're relating to somebody. Relate to them. I mean, you can say things like, I've had people say, you're a great example. If I put a leadership quote or something, that's all great. Or thank you for, you know, all you do, or whatever. Those kind of things are good, but leave Asea out of it when you're talking to Asea people, because you could be stepping on something. And so that's just kind of an etiquette thing that I think I blew it for somebody when I stepped on their line. So be careful about that. But I'm really convinced, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I could say. When somebody friends me, I immediately respond after looking at their profile, and I accept their friend request, and I immediately send them an instant message inviting them to get to know me better by, you know, hey, I really want to get to know you. I don't like to just accept friends because they want to, you know, have a million Facebook friends, and I'll invite them to coffee or ask them if they want to do a chat. And I also, Tammy, one other thing that I found effective a few times is I've had a few associates that are prospecting somebody that the person, for one reason or the other, either a different time zone, or maybe they just don't want to give out their information, but they are willing to look at some information. I've had some downline set me up with a chat with them, a 3-way chat, and we'll answer questions through Facebook chat, and that's also been effective. So anyway, I'm really convinced that social media is fun, and that's what I like to do, is connect with people and have fun. And so I hope, you know, my experiences have helped you, and I'm fine with answering questions if you've got any.
Oh, thank you, Marian. Your tips, your experience, your track record has been really interesting tonight. So thank you. So everyone, this brings us to the end of session 4 in social media for Asea. And don't forget that our next session is going to be next Wednesday, June 14th. Now, why did I think I had Wednesday is June 13th? Let me look. Oh, it's right. Wednesday, June 14th. This will be our last session on this class, how to teach your team to do what you're doing and to duplicate what you're doing. And I'm going to especially show you what to do with new associates as they enroll, how to introduce them online, and how to help them get their business off to a rocking great start online as well. And so that's what we're going to talk about next Wednesday. This recording will be posted to Dream Struggle Victory. And tomorrow I will post all of the classes in the files section of Dream Struggle Victory. So you won't have to scroll down to eternity in order to find one of the classes if you want to review it or you want one of your teammates to do it. So they will be up there. So thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate it. We are really, really, really excited. So we will talk to you next Wednesday. Thank you, Marion, so much for everything you contributed.